School, welcome to our Veterans Day program. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Because we have a president, a good Army, Air Force, and Marines. I love how we have good education and freedoms. I love how we have a Constitution to keep us safe. I like how we are free from England. I love America because we have the Bill of Rights. It gives us, America, the right to vote, to believe in our own way, and to speech. I like the way we are allowed to do what we want, but it has to follow the Constitution.
Thank you, Max. Now SSG Crile will introduce our guest speaker.
Today's speaker has been a member of the Iowa Army National Guard 34th Army Band for 31 years. He plays the drum. His job is to take care of all the soldiers in the band. It is my privilege to introduce my dad and my hero, Staff Sergeant Crile.
What an awesome bunch of kids. Give yourself a hand for coming down to a nice program. Jerry, thanks for that awesome introduction. Nice job. Good to go. I'd also like to thank Mrs. Hanshaw for inviting me to come speak to you today. That was very nice of her, so I appreciate that. I hope, after I'm done, you have a better idea as to what Veterans Day means and why it is so important to our veterans. At 11 o'clock on November 11, 1918, a temporary treaty was signed between the United States, its allies, and Germany to stop the fighting during the First World War, also known as the Great War. After World War II and the Korean War, November 11th came to be known as Veterans Day, which that's today, November 11th, 2011. I'm going to give you a little bit of information on what a veteran really is. A veteran is someone who has served in the military in times of war and peace. It could be your father, your mother, your brother, your sister, aunt, uncle, grandfather, grandmother. It could be a neighbor. There's a lot of people that could be a veteran that you don't even know maybe that they are. A veteran could be a soldier who was a prisoner of war for many years. A veteran could be a soldier who is a mechanic who works on military aircraft or other Air Force equipment to keep everything in good working condition for his soldiers. A veteran could be the drill instructor who, with his instruction, has saved countless lives by teaching his soldiers how to watch out for each other's backs. It could even be an Army bandsman whose mission is to instill patriotism in both soldiers and American citizens. And I think Jeremy introduced me as a bandsman, and that's what I do for a living in the Army, the National Guard. I work full-time taking care of our unit soldiers, and I also get to have some fun and play drums on the side for different parades. I'm sure many of you have friends or neighbors that are veterans. You should be very proud of them because they have sacrificed a lot to keep our country safe and free. Veterans Day honors all the people I have previously mentioned who have served in the United States Armed Forces. Those different branches of service include the Marines, the Coast Guard, the Navy, Air Force, and of course the Army. Some veterans are young, some are old, some still live and work beside us every day. Some have passed away. Others made the ultimate sacrifice, which means they died while fighting for your and my freedom. The most important thing that you and I can do is recognize who those people are and let them know how thankful we are for what they did for you and for me. So, how do we recognize a veteran? Can we just look at somebody and say, he's a veteran? It's a little more difficult than that, isn't it? Sometimes they may be wearing a hat or jacket that may say they are a veteran, but usually we can't just walk out on the street and find a veteran. Some may have some injuries from the war. They may have a limp, or have an injury that they just can't get around very well. Others may have emotional injuries that you and I can't see. They may be sad for a friend that they served with who was killed or seriously injured. Some really don't want to talk about their experiences while they serve, but I guarantee you, most of them are very proud of their service. Always remember, fighting in a war is not glorious. Soldiers die and are injured. It's not right, it's not fair, but they're protecting you and me when they do this. They fight these people who are a threat to us in places far from home and far away from their families, so you and I can be safe here in this great country. There's also somebody else we should thank when it comes to veterans, and that is their families. Behind every veteran is a family who has sacrificed at home while their soldier was gone for months and sometimes years. They missed graduations, reunions, sporting events because they were away serving, overseas. Those families counted the days and the weeks their soldier was gone, and they couldn't wait until their loved one returned safely home. I'm sure you've seen lots of different videos on TV of soldiers coming back to their families. It's pretty emotional. It's a very happy time. So, how can you guys and me continue to honor a veteran for their service? There are a couple very simple things that you can do that will be appreciated by all veterans. You should always stand, remove your hat if you're wearing one, and put your hand over your heart when you hear the national anthem or when you say the Pledge of Allegiance. We play the national anthem for every concert that we do. And sometimes I'm a little disappointed by some of the actions of the people in the audience. It takes about a minute and a half to play the national anthem. That's not very long, is it? That goes by pretty fast. That's a very short time to quietly stand and pay respect to our great nation and to our veterans. But let me tell you one thing. I was very impressed with how you all proudly stood and recited the Pledge of Allegiance at the beginning of the program. That was awesome. Give yourself a hand. As Jeremy mentioned earlier, when he introduced me, I have been a member of the 34th Army Band for almost 31 years. Serving in an Army Band has been very, very rewarding. Many times there have been moments that have brought tears to my eyes and made me really appreciate what the veterans have done for us. You see, I'm very lucky. Every time we go out and do a concert or a parade, I have the honor of saluting a veteran with the music that we play. Let me briefly explain a couple of the many instances that have made me fight back tears by just watching how a veteran may react to a song that we are playing. The band does a service medley that has like an Army song, Navy song, Air Force, Marines, and we play this for every concert. When we play that song, the veterans are encouraged to stand and be recognized for their song. I have that medley memorized for one reason. There is always a veteran in the crowd who can hardly stand up because of his age. And I want to be sure my head's up, not looking at my music, so I can see him get up. At the start of each service song, our commander salutes the veterans in the audience from that branch of the military. The moment some of those veterans hear their song, they're old, some of them, they can hardly stand, but they quickly stand up, snap to attention, and return a salute to my commander, as if they were like 20 years old again, just starting out in the military. They are so proud of what they've done, and we're recognizing them by just playing that song for them. It's hard to explain, but that's an amazing feeling watching that. Through the years, I've played a lot of sports, basketball, volleyball, and softball games that have good-sized crowds. People are there cheering for you and get you pumped up. That feels great. I always like that. You know, they're really cheering for you. You guys will get that someday, whether you're in bands, playing sports, any activity. But let me tell you, there's not a better feeling in the world than watching that veteran stand and proudly return that salute. It just sends chills down my back. It's just the best feeling in the world that we're doing that for them. The other short story I want to tell you is how our veterans have impacted people from other countries. In 1989, our band was fortunate enough to travel to Italy to play in a parade thanking the U.S. for liberating Italy during World War II. That was a long time ago, World War II. That's before you were born, before I was born, and all your teachers were born. That parade was the largest parade that we had ever been in. The crowd was estimated to be anywhere from 200,000 to 400,000 people. And that's a pretty amazing thing for a farm boy from Iowa to be a part of. I was amazed. But the parade is not the main thing that I remember from that day. At the beginning of the parade, a very old and somewhat weak man from Italy was making a bit of a commotion before we started. Finally, we figured out what he was wanting. We had a color guard that was carrying the American flag in the front of the band. All this gentleman wanted to do was walk up, touch the American flag, and kiss it. After 50 years, after the World War II had ended, he was still grateful for what our veterans had done for him so long ago. I will never, ever forget that. I think that whole band had trouble stepping off because we were just so emotionally touched by that. This gentleman, seeing him kiss the flag, was an amazing feeling. An amazing feeling. So see, not only have our veterans done great things for us, but they have also accomplished great things for other countries and their people. So today, we recognize the veterans as any person who has served in the armed forces, past or present, at home or in a country far away, in peacetime and during war. We want to honor them as we have in the past for the last 80 years. In closing, I want to give you a homework assignment this weekend. This takes precedence over anything your teachers are going to give you this weekend, okay? So you tell me, this is the first thing you got to do, okay? I would like you to go home tonight and ask your parents who they know who is a veteran. I would like you to go to that person, shake their hand, and say thank you for your service for our country. That will probably mean more to them than any award or any medal they have ever received. So please do that for me, would you? Thanks. being a great audience today. May God bless each of you for caring and remembering our veterans. May God bless our veterans, what they have given you, and may God bless America. Thank you.